Right, so this is part two of sexual appetite, you understand what I'm saying? And psychedelics, you know? And the point where I reached with the where the feminine and the feminine energy collides with each other, and they have a sexual appetite for each other, you know, and their actions are expressed in love, you know. Um, as I said, I'm not fully aware of the actions or the feeling, you know, of that what we call that sexual appetite, you know. But I've seen things, you know. I'm not a liar. I've seen things, you know, and they are passionate about what and how they express themselves, you know. I've seen things, you know, and this is important for you all to understand that you all are my family still, you all are my sisters still, you know, despite of what they might say, you know. You all are my sisters, you know, and I love you all very, very much, you know. And I know they are saying and they are science to prove specific things, and they say that you all can mate with each other and a child could form, you know. A child could form in the womb, you know, and you know, and life could foster into life. But as I say, in the preference and the action, you know, behind the scenes is private, you know. It is a private and secret art or a feeling or a performance, you know. Some might say it's a performance for those who watch you all on screens, but it's something important, spiritual anatomy, you know. And behind the scenes is one place, and then there's open forums when we don't sexually infuse with each other, but we walk on the neighboring road, you know, roadway. And hence the reason why I get into the steps by steps, because I said in the community, in the last tape, others are looking, you know, and they may have urges of similarity, but they are confused still as to what is the step to take. So I say there are platforms, you know, and these platforms could be viewed via internet, you know, and there are places where these platforms could be held privately, but sometimes the private forum is only open to one specific engagement. It does not teach you all to be, if you all have an appetite and you feel is a based on a persuasion from someone else, there's options. Or you could be directed to have your sexual preference with masculine and feminine, or if your preference is with the feminine and feminine structure in the same forum, you understand? So you'll be getting 2 points, you understand, of views as to how your urges are. Because some, as I say, some young, I don't want to say adolescent, but some younger ones are growing up and they are questioning based on what they see on TV or based on what their urges is, their hormonal changes is with inside of their body, or who they see all the time, and the urge, when the urge come to them, that they gravitate to, you know. So all these things are have to be said. Hence the reason why I get into details. It has to be said in terms of it has to be said, in terms of why and how they could see themselves in the future without being scrutinized or without being feared or without feeling they need to see a government or need to have to be a part of a specific society to be known or feel a sense of comfort within their self. It should not be that, you know. And when the forum, when this physical forum is available, they will be able to have options not only in one community, but they will have options within the scope of what the sexual persuasion or the sexual act is, or the intimate values are, you know. In this topic we could talk about um, different things, and we could go into a depth of different things, you know. But what I'm speaking about right now, I'm speaking about sensitization, or answers to questions, you know. And these questions are sometimes answered by those who don't have the full scope of what it is to be, what we say, unified, you know, and has a cross gender, you understand what I'm saying, or has that feeling or that urge, you understand, from a past trauma, you understand, that take place in the early stages of life, you know, and it has become a bond to them, or a binding structure within their anatomy, you know. And now now they are growing, and they are seeing things, and things are performed in the open, you know. um their questions sometimes be directed based on someone else's opinion, you know. So hence the reason I said a forum where they could speak, and or they could hear other speakers, you know, speak on what they probably what they went through, or the experience in existence thus far in their reality. If there's a forum that stage of life could be expressed, that would be very, very useful and helpful for the community at large, especially in the younger stage of development. As I say, many of them, all they know is their friend, and their friend become their best friend, and then the best friend become their lover. You understand what I'm saying? The person they have confined to, and at times they hug them, you know. And when they hug them now, when they hug them, they embrace them physically. And when they embrace them physically, specific areas, specific energy points of their contact, whether it be a female and a female, specific energy points, you know what I'm saying? Specific energy points within their body touches their body, so it releases a charge to them, to their physical aura, to the aura field, you know. And sometimes at the spontaneous moment, the hormonal balance might be articulating a specific gene hormone, you know, and they might give them a kiss on the cheek, and at that time it might send a value to the head, and that kiss might turn from a kiss to the cheek now to a kiss to the lips, and then it become accustomed, now, and then after we are persuaded into a sexual appetite. This don't only happen in the community with the female and the female, but it happens in the male and the female as well. Sometimes we are in school and we hug later friend, you know, and we are young, or we are younger, or we are growing up, and as I say, sometimes when energies collide, we tend to have areas in our bodies where where certain specific things extend out, you understand what I'm saying? And those areas, you know, those areas, I need to point to shoulder, those areas extend out, you understand, in the female, you know. And at those areas there are melanin clusters, or energy points, at the tip of the nipple, you understand what I'm saying? And some of us are not wearing bras, you know, so we tend to some of us wear bras, or we just wear a tank top, you understand what I'm saying? And we touch, and when we touch now, the energy is sent or emitted over to that person, you know. This is very important that you all know about energy, you know, because when you all do this, you know, you all send a sense of your attraction over onto someone else, and your hormonal signals might send what we call a gas over to the person, you understand what I'm saying? And that might be inhaled, you understand what I'm saying, or it might be infused into their physical anatomy, you understand what I'm saying? And they now receive a signal from you saying that we could mate, you understand what I'm saying, or we could bond, you understand what I'm saying? And then it happens from in the classroom, you know, and some of us are active or sexually active at an early age, you know, secretly, you know. The reason I'm talking about this, because this is a reality. but it's not told, it's not spoke, it's not spoken about, because I I I engage in sexual activity at an early age, so I know what it is about, but I was not taught how to go about specific things. And it was fantastic, you know. But at this age now, there are barriers that we cross at times, and we need to ensure that when we cross these barriers, we have the knowledge, or we have somebody that we could speak to. Hence the reason that I am a man, and I could tell you all this is a reality that we are in, and we need to ensure that we are not being persuaded by someone else who does not see it as an importance of your well-being as well as mine. You understand what I'm saying? When I say your well-being and as well as mine, I speak to the two audience who might be having the interrelationship. You understand what I'm saying? Secretly, unknown to others. You understand? And we confine to each other our feelings, based on our affection for each other. This information, will not only when I say the forum for this type of information to be conveyed, or to be on a broad screen, broad scale, of exposure, will be helpful for the community at large, because we are seeing young children dropping out of school because of they have to carry a 9-month child, and they might feel shame. No one is telling them they should not feel shame, because once the hormonal drives are activated, this is your natural anatomy, and sometimes you are directed, and sometimes you have this intercourse or sexual drive, understand what, with someone, and something happens which is based on life productivity, and some of us might be ashamed to go back to school, in a sense of that we recognize as somebody who might be quote unquote in a category that is not welcoming for society, and that is not truth. I am here to tell you that is not truth. You all are welcoming for society, but you all need to take precaution steps, and if you all are using protection, you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes protection tends to have bursts on marks, depending on the drive or the ecstasy per se in the performance at hand. Because I could tell you things could get very pleasure. The pleasure could be very you know enhanced at times, and things happen. Breakage take place in the protections that you all have, and spills enter, and things happen, and sometimes we rush into things and we don't put protection on, because I could tell about me. I was like that. But knowledge is out here now, and I don't want you all to feel if you all are not a part of society, because you all are. But you all need to have a forum where you all could sit down and have a conversation to know that you all are very important, and there are specific things that you all could do, if you all are active in that manner, because this is a reality and this happens. I don't want to talk about parents having sex with the younger children. I don't want to speak about that. But that is a platform that I will have to talk about in the future. But that is a reality. Some young ladies are directed from not the parent per se, but their guardian. You understand what I'm saying? And it may be the mother might bring home a young boy, or a young man, you understand what I'm saying, or a man, an adult who is the same age with the mother or older, and he might see you, and you might be home a day, and something might happen, and these things are kept secret. You understand what I'm saying? And these forums need to be this is a forum that has to be opened for these things to be known. You understand what I'm saying? Because it might be at the age of consent, and the mother don't know, or the father don't know. You understand what I'm saying? You might be at the age of consent, because young men go through the same thing as well. The father might bring home a woman, and she might see the young man, and that is what happens. And this is a real forum that needs to be expressed, in a large scope for the community at large. You understand what I'm saying? And a young man, having engaging in these things might feel macho and say, but boy, big man, you understand what I'm saying? But these things scar you, with specific tendencies and actions, and then after we see ourselves might in a different reality, you know. So a young person who might be your age, whether it be the male or the female bracket, you understand what I'm saying? The young woman might see the person in their age as no longer a part of their sexual appetite, and they might gravitate to older men, you know. And the same thing with the man. The young man, he might see the young ladies who are in his appetite, you understand, or his sexual preference, you understand what I'm saying, feel, right? As as not of importance, and might gravitate to an older woman, you understand? Or a younger woman. And this is a reality that takes place in the community at large, you know. So the reason why I'm looking down, I want to make sure this could go places, and some of them are under the persuasion of psychedelics, you know. So it enhances or it impair their judgment to action. I want to tell you all this because there's a specific reason for this, and this is a long topic, but I want to keep it short right here. So you might have a next version to this topic, right?